of a lady. Said, I am a 37-year-old lady who is in love with a 65-year-old man. But my family and friends think I'm crazy. I tried to explain to them that it is love, not craziness. But no one was listening to me. My man has been divorced with 2 kids. However, my family thinks something is not right about my decision. They feel I'm choosing to be with my man because I've lost hope of ever getting to meet a guy of my age. My friend would laugh at me and speak negative of me, no support or love from them, which actually hurts me. When Gary, my man, proposed marriage to me, I told my family and they rejected me. They said it was an abomination. Prior to this time, I had dated other guys, but I had never felt love the way I felt with my man, Gary. I feel judged and rejected, which makes me question my sanity and wonder if there is something wrong in dating a man older than me. I'm in love, for heaven's sake. I am presently confused because my family is everything, and I also love my man, Gary. So I need help. I need help, and I'm wondering if age actually matters in relationship. Okay, so I think I picked something from the angle of no family support. It's a taboo from the family to marry someone who is older than you. And she has been waiting. She finally met someone. She has been in several other relationships, but she finally met someone she felt connected with. And no friends support, people very close to us, they rejected her. And that is women, like our fellow friends. So I also picked that she's, the guy proposed, so she's ready to go into it, but the love she has for her family, because family is everything to her. So she's kind of in between, like, is she actually crazy or she's sane? So she needs help. And I'm gonna start with Dr. Tomi. Please, I want you to share your perspective towards this. How can we help her? Does this mean that she's sane or she's insane, like the family and friend mentioned, or is it okay to marry someone older than you, or is it a problem to marry someone older than you? Does love or does age actually matters in love? Okay.
Hi, Sister Ronke, and good morning, everyone again. For me, age doesn't matter. But it depends on what she defines love to be for her. What can they do together? Can they have conversations together, sustain the conversations? Do they share some mutual things? Is there mutual respect? There's so many things we need to consider. It is not about age at all. I know people who have married their age mates and things are not working out for them. So it is not about age, but then she needs to be careful. She also needs, in as much as she feels judged, she needs to listen and pick and just pay attention to what people are saying and critically look inward to say, okay, why are they saying this? What exactly? Do you understand? Just to appraise herself again and see, maybe there's something twisted about her definition of love. Is there? So for me, it is not about age at all. But once she's able to ascertain that she's okay, she's fine, she's at peace, then she can go ahead. Most importantly, they have to be friends. And if they're friends, then that's fine.
Okay. So age doesn't matter if she's cool, if they're in love, if she's in love with the person, so she can go ahead as long as she's okay with it. Okay. All right, Sister Nike.
So a lot of the things I would say tonight, still nighttime on there. A lot of the things I would say this morning are pretty much based out of what my values are spiritually. And I believe that for a born again child of God, there has to be that balance. Now, I don't know. I know in the case study, it didn't say whether she's a born again Christian or not, but my perspective on this is that there are many different angles from which to approach the subject of marriage. There has to be, just like Statomi rightly said, friendship. When we are looking at the physical relationship aspect, okay, are we friends? Can we communicate on different levels? Can we be on the same team? You know, we all know the verse of scripture that says, can two walk together except they agree, and they be agreed. So, you know, that's one thing. And then is this woman, if she's a child of God, is the man, does the man share the same faith that she has? And I'm not naive to think that when two born again Christians marry, that there's no stress. But I'm also, you know, I'm also not ignorant of the fact that it's good that we both have the same father. So, and then ultimately, in addition to what Sister Tomi said, I believe that there's the place of prayer, especially because it's not, you know, I won't say age is a deterrent, but what you want to know as that 37-year-old girl is, without a shadow of doubt, do you have peace in your heart that this is what God would have you do? And he would give you, the truth is, there's no decision one would make in life that everybody who knows you will be 100% on board. And I believe that, you know, you have to get to, at least at 37, you're not a kid. It's not like you're trying to do something to please someone. This is the rest of your life you're talking about here. And, you know, people, God may be sending that person to the 65-year-old man for a purpose. I mean, he's been divorced, his kids, you know, a case in point, although the person I want to share, the wife was not divorced, the wife died. Joe Biden, the guy who was just elected president a month ago in the US. And the lady, she said, you know, the man asked, Joe Biden asked her multiple times. I mean, this was way younger. The age difference wasn't there, but I'm speaking to the man with kids perspective, because, you know, sometimes another reason why people judge people, especially if this lady is a 37-year-old person who the case study doesn't say, but does she have kids? They may say, why are you marrying someone that old? He's used the prime time of his life, and you're just going there to take care of his kids or whatever it is. But, you know, at the end of the day, all those are physical things. We are called to walk by faith and not by sight. And if God is affirming that this is the path to go, I would say, and she, more importantly, you know, there's the spiritual aspect, there's the physical aspect, there's the emotional aspect, which from that case study, I see that the love part is there, you know. But like Statomi said, it doesn't mean that you just shut out all the noise. You listen and you internalize it, you think it through, you break it down, you have your answers to those things. You critically analyze the situation through the lens of your spiritual maturity. That's what my take is.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much for that, Sister Nike. All right, so I actually have some question here already, but we'll dive into it. All right, Councillor Tayo, please, can you share your perspective, please?
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much. And I think I like the sound of what's already been shared. And Dr. Tomi saying that they have to be friends. I mean, she has to be friends with, they both have to be friends. And that's so profound. And of course, when Sister Nike was saying that, then prayer, which is like a progression, I like it. They be friends, and then the prayer part is very, very key. You know, I subscribe to that as well. Now, I would now say that, so now that you are friends, now that you've prayed and you probably have an inkling to go on, let's just assume that. Then, so what do you then do? So my perspective is going to come from the counseling perspective. I'm going to be speaking as a counselor in this regard. So I would just like to share like 3 things you now need to consider. Okay, before I share those 3 things, also in that case study, like 2 things, you know, sounded up. Yes, she's in love with him, and then there is a sound off of a bit of not being accepted. So those are 2 too interesting position to be for someone that is trying to settle in marriage. So now, there are things she needs to consider, and one of them is the generational divide between the two of them.
Okay.
At 37, she still falls under the spectrum of a millennial, and at 60 plus, a 60 generation is already maybe tending towards baby boomer, if we may say that. Now, there are things that are unique to those generations. The generational gap, there's a whole generation in between them. So there are things that the man will certainly do that may not, that will just be that will be unique to that generation, and there will be things that she will do that he can't even understand. He's been hearing of it, but he will be experiencing it. So those things will be showing up for her. It's not to say that there can be agreement. There can be, can we shift grounds? Then can we now meet at the middle point? Those can happen. Those are the works she would have to do. She just needs to be aware that there is work to be done. That there is work to be done. It's okay if she loves, which it appears she does. They are friends. She's great, and she feels like they can continue. She's ready to go. Then he just needs to be aware of, the good sides and the bad sides. Awareness will help her to walk through, because these things will show up. It's already there. Only that when love comes in, feelings is more than, the way we are thinking about it, which is understandable. But when we now subject it to, when we subject it to awareness, it helps us to things in better perspective. So the first thing I shared is the generational divide that they need to understand. She's going to be faster than him, definitely. Not because it's the gender divide, but for generational purposes. She wants to be on her phone most of the time. All her businesses is probably on the phone. The man, all his businesses will probably be on the on terrestrial. And they will be operating at different waves.
Absolutely, I agree. Okay, I guess she got distracted from that. Okay. So
yeah, you will be the need to respond to the requirements of the age. For age reasons, I think there will be things that'll be showing up for him, and she needs to be ready for that, to take care of the man, to nurture, because the man is now tending towards being independent. So she needs to just be she needs to be aware. It's not to say it's not possible. It's possible, but just be aware. And of course, there are sides to it, because yes, they will have a network, will have things that will help. So it will be, there are good sides, there are bad sides. So my point is, she being aware of these two sides and being also being able to see it before going ahead into it. And then lastly, and I'm going to say that from the case I have a friend that at about 37, she had this man, she wanted to date and all of that. The man, get married to, she got connected to the man through a family member. I know you can come together. And then it started. So the man was out of the country. She had 2 weeks now. Check the man up and see, because if I can say that. So they have 2 weeks to really the man had the first child, 28. She was 30. I think she was 38 actually at that time. The man's first child was 28 and married. So he married early.
Okay.
And now, she now saw some things like In fact, it was not the man that raised it. It was a family member of the man, like the sister of the man. When he arrived and she was there, and they were saying, oh, you didn't help him to carry luggage upstairs. And she was like, oblivious to the sister that she had already requested to carry something.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't see that part. And then they raised it as a concern. So these are the dynamics that eventually, one looking at it, the man was loving, it was into the mother. But by the time she looked closely again, she just tried to see that, okay, some of these things showing up now looks like they're able to go on with. Of course, I like the fact that the family didn't influence her. They didn't suggest it to her. They didn't impose on her. Nobody imposed on her. They allowed her to just make your decision. So right now, to her, you will come to make your decision. But please be aware of what is of things that are possible. Be aware of the things that are possible to show up. That's why I just shared that also. It can work out, but it will only work out with awareness. Aware, so that there's a place of, oh, I mean, and once feelings coming, feelings can make us not really be as critical as we need to be. But critical as you need to be about it, yes, with the feelings, you prayed about it to your friends, oh, then you're good to go. So that's my take on it.
Wow. Absolutely. Ladies, once feelings enter, it clouds our judgment, I think. Yeah. It actually clouds our judgment.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you for that. All right. So actually, age in what we said. Who's there? Okay. So in all we said, please, who needs to mute? Kindly mute. Okay. So in all we said, we're like, age is actually not a barrier. Okay, Sister Tayo, please, can you mute? There is this background. Okay, so age is actually not a barrier. However, we need to show it before we go into it. All right. For the age thing, I know a lot of people actually have this question on the age. Is, of course, age has never been, but it all has to do with you, and also I think the angle of the culture too, with the family, the way we say things also matters, right? Here, I don't know, Sister Jen, do you have a contribution on this? The age thingy.
I think what has been said pretty much captures the things we'll have to say around the issue of age. Personally, I don't believe that age matters, but that depends on your preferences. I, for one, I would never marry someone who is, I have a personal preference for people or for men who are closer to my age. I wouldn't dig someone who's like 10 years older than me or 15 or 20. No, that's not my preference. So it depends. Number one, it also depends on your preferences. What do you like? What works for you? Okay, so, but generally, I don't think age really matters when it comes to this issue of marriage. I think for the lady, I just think this relationship, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I believe it can be enriching for both sides. It can be enriching for the lady. It can be enriching for the man. Enriching for the lady, he's much older. He's probably more established. So she gets access to his take on life. We can call it experience, He has been around much longer than her, and He knows how to go around life, and she can benefit from that wealth of wisdom. If he is a wise person, she can benefit from that wealth of wisdom that he has. She can benefit from the wealth of networks that he has already established. And for him, I mean, she can bring a renewed lease of life to him. You know, we talk about he can see things from a more dynamic, from a more, you know, a young perspective. So it can be enriching in different aspects, you know, for both of them. The issue is, one of our panelists has already said it, when the realities of life begin to unfold, and we cannot avoid that. The realities of life will unfold, realities in terms of physical changes, realities in terms of, I mean, we're growing older. I mean, there'll be realities in terms of family dynamics. So when those realities begin to unfold, I just think she should be prepared for those things, because this guy will be at 10 years, she'll still be tapping. She will still be younger than 50, while this guy will be an almost octogenarian. Those are the realities she's got to deal with. But she just needs to be prepared for that. We have examples of people who have married much older than them. And it seems to be, I mean, for those examples that we know about, if things are working out, it's working out for them. I always say, or there's something my husband and I always say, every marriage has a rhythm. A man and a woman who are married, they have a rhythm to their relationship. That rhythm is not, it's an intangible thing that we have not been able to put our fingers on, but it is what makes the relationship work for them. It's what helps them to solve their issues. It's what helps them, it's what makes them tick, you know, it's what makes their marriage thrive. And so if these two individuals find their rhythm in this marriage, in this relationship, I think it will work for them. I just want to be sure that she's not settling, you know. I just want to be sure that she's not settling. 37, you know, for me, and people could also, you know, say, maybe I'm saying this because I'm comfortably married, as it were. But in this dispensation, is 37 really that much of a red light zone where the, you know, the lights are giving off the alarms that one needs to be desperate? Maybe it also, maybe I'm making this statement based on the society where I live in, where marriage is not really such a, it's not idolized, as it were. So if you find a woman who is 37 years old unmarried, it's not a big deal. They just believe she's living her life. But I don't know the society in which this case study comes from. But the point is, I just want to be sure that she's not settling, you know, to say, this is the person that has come my way. This is someone who is showing and or demonstrating love towards me in a way that no other person has. And so I better, you know, grab this copy while it's still available. But she just, so those are just some of the things she needs to be sure of. I wouldn't go much into, because I don't know if this individual is a Christian or not. So, but just, you know, generally, just to add to what has been said already, those are will be my contributions. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. And thank you